Hello, everyone. My name is Chelsea J, and I'm a first-year biochemistry major from Virginia Beach.
Hi, everyone. My name is Israel Billups. I'm a first-year biology pre-med major from New Jersey.
Hi, everyone. My name is Camila Morris. I'm a first-year biology pre-med major from Germantown, Maryland.
Hi, I'm Sanai Nebla, a first-year psych pre-med major from Atlanta, Georgia. Today, our research project is about the migratory patterns of birds of prey in Rockfish Gap, Virginia during the fall 2022 season. Birds of prey are raptors that hunt other animals as their source of food, meaning they eat rabbits, rodents, fish, lizards, and other smaller birds as their source of energy. They migrate, meaning move one place for another to find better access to resources. Studying these migratory patterns of birds helps us understand changes in the environment. Raptors are environmental indicators. When we look at them, we're able to tell what's going on in the environment around them. They are the top of the food web, so we're able to just see how they are affected and what's affecting them because they are sensitive to human disturbances. A previous study has shown that change in air temperature affects the probability that birds will depart for migration. In the spring, the probability of migration increased due to their ability to reach higher speeds and shorten stopover durations. This same study also studied migratory restlessness, which is the urge migratory birds feel to migrate in the fall and spring. Temperature made an impact for some species and for others it had no impact. So this study is basically saying some birds were more inclined to have migratory restlessness while others were not affected. Our ultimate research question is, how does atmospheric temperature affect migratory patterns of birds of prey? We hypothesize that the lower the temperature, the fewer birds will migrate daily. Our null hypothesis is temperature will not have any effect on migratory patterns of birds of prey, and we predict that if the atmospheric temperature is warmer, more birds of prey will migrate.
To gather our data, research and bird enthusiasts visually recorded various species of birds that were seen migrating through Rockfish Gap during the months of August to November. So from August to November, 7 days a week, researchers and other bird enthusiasts would travel to Rockfish Gap and visually record. The recorded data was uploaded to hawkwatch.com, which allowed users to see the migratory patterns of birds of prey and watch sites across the country. We then collected all of our relevant data regarding the birds of prey at our particular watch site and transferred it to Excel spreadsheets to be compared and analyzed. We used the observational data to create pictorial aids such as graphs, tables, and regression charts, and to draw a conclusion about our findings.
Just for some context, the site is important in regards to our research question because Rockfish Gap is located in the mountains, in the Blue Ridge Mountains, at approximately 670 meters of elevation. And we see that it can receive different air temperatures and also different weather.
Moving on to the results, if you look at figure 1, that is our correlation analysis of average daily temperature and birds of prey abundance. And when looking at that graph, we were given an insignificant correlation as a determination because our p-value was exceeded the number of 0.05, which gave us an insignificant value. So that data was not able to be used to support our hypothesis. But looking at figure 4, the correlations analysis of day of sample and birds of prey species richness, a significant correlation was found as the p-value did not exceed 0.05, but the correlation was of the day of sample and the birds of prey species richness, and our hypothesis and research question had to do with temperature, in which this did not correlate. So we also did not use that to support our hypothesis. When taking a look at figure 3, that is our frequency of occurrence of birds of prey species for Rockfish Gap. And the red-tailed hawk was the most frequently seen outside. And it was closely followed by the sharp-shinned hawk and the bald eagle, which were also observed a very high amount. And the Mississippi kite was observed the least throughout the season. Looking at figure 5, our multi-level donut chart comparing species abundance and richness across the entire sample period, the Mississippi kite was only observed in August and it was absent for the entire rest of the season, but the Cooper's hawk and bald eagle were observed throughout the entire season. Moving on to figure 2, the variation of species richness of birds of prey for Rockfish Gap. Our species richness had a very high level of variation throughout the season, but its highest levels were in the month of September.
So when looking back at our data, according to species abundance and variation, we decided that there is no consistent pattern in the statistical analysis of each bird. So in referencing figure 2, the species variation increased and decreased throughout the season at a staggered rate, with no correlation to the specific temperature on each day. Similarly, the staggered rate for abundance and species richness was observable during the data period. This can also be referenced from figure 5 and figure 3, where the Mississippi kite was only observed in August and was absent for the rest of the season, and the Cooper's hawk and the bald eagle were observed throughout the entire season. So as for our hypothesis, we've decided that the hypothesis was rejected. Referencing figure 4, species richness and the day of sample had a direct relationship. However, due to the hypothesis testing the relationship between species richness, abundance, and temperature, figure 1 is a better test for that exact hypothesis. And referencing figure 1, an insignificant relationship between temperature and bird of prey appearance. So because of this, in our data, it cannot be concluded that temperature is the sole contributing factor in bird of prey migration for all birds.
So to wrap this up, from this research, we were able to understand how to analyze data and create graphs to come to conclusions. And we found that we were unable to support our hypothesis because of insignificant p-values, and how we can see with figures 2 and 4 that species richness does not really correlate when you're considering average temperature, and also bird of prey abundance as found in figures 1 and 5 does not really correlate to our bird of prey abundance. And we found that it may depend on the species, and this also is conducive with research done in previous work by scientists Kleiner and Chamalin. And we've also seen that it is something that will take more research and more tests to really answer our question. In the future, we would ensure that there are more accurate bird counts. As with the site, there were a few unknown numbers we had to eliminate. And then we also may have had possible errors due to a lack of proficiency in data analysis tools within Excel. Just to tie this into the scientific world at large, we feel that this research and the work of others allow people to continue to look at other factors, like maybe how rain and precipitation affects it rather than just temperature. We'd like to thank Dr. Dash and the Hampton University Department of Biological Sciences for helping us, providing us with resources, Rockfish Gap Hawkwatch for allowing us to use their data, and the NSF for funding this research. So thank you.